everyone. I wanted to go over the new Castle Estates kit that came out today and just kind of take a look at the assets that came with it. Today we also received the Goth Galore kit, but I'm not going to touch on that one, mostly just looking at the build kit that came, and we'll look at the fashion kit at a later date. But with the build kit, we have a lot of really nice assets that I wanted to show you and a lot of variations. I'm really happy with all the options that we got for this. So just taking a look, generally everything came with either a clean version or a dirty version of the stonework. And then for the walls, there's actually even 3 options for the walls. Let me show you here really quick. Oh, I already had that filtered and I took it off. So for the walls, there's actually 3 options. You have your full clean version. You have a version that's just kind of dirty on the top, which is the ones I have here on the display, and then you have one that's dirty all the way through. So everything else just has 2 versions, but the walls actually have 3 because it gives you the different varying degrees of how worn down it is. So for this, we have a lot of different things here. We received a foundation, floor, walls, 2 different styles of fences, and then we'll look at all the doors and things. I only have 1 style of door on these walls, but we'll look at all of them in a bit. These are actually the medium doors. They're also small doors that are pretty much identical to these, just a smaller version of them. The trim on it is just a little bit different, but those are just small single doors that you would more use for interiors. But these are the medium size. And for each of these, we have 2 different types of fences. This one is definitely what I would consider to be more for like delicate garden areas or your interiors, like your balconies and different landings. And then this is a battlement fence. You could use it for your ground fencing, but I know it's definitely styled after what you expect to see on top of the trims of like the castles and structures and things. You know, that's that traditional kind of look we all think of when we think of a castle. So there are these I have that just kind of on top. So there's the 2 fences, the doors, the walls, and then here's the first swatch, and then its dirty version. And then there is a lighter color, like a lighter sandy color, and then its version. We have a brown variation in dirty and clean. And then there was a gray in dirty and clean. Now this is the only one that does not have a dirty version. And it's also the only swatch that does not have items available in this, all items available in this swatch. So you can get the foundation in it, the floor, the wall, and the battlement fence. But any windows, doors, friezes, any other types of trims, things like that you would do, columns, and then this style of fence, they do not have that kind of greenery on them. But the very first style that's usually on the list, the top left one, whenever you open up your swatch palette, that is the one that kind of matches this the best, and that's what I've got that on there. So that seems like it matches the base undertone the most. But if you know anything about me at all, this one is absolutely my favorite because I love greenery, I love gardening and the overgrowth and things just kind of having that wild look to them. So I got really excited when I saw this one in here because I didn't notice that on any of the examples photos that we received with the promos. So when I saw that, I just lit up. So I'm really excited about that one. And then we do have 4 other styles here. This is kind of a sandy orange color with its dirty counterpart. And then these 2 did not have dirty versions. There's pretty much a solid white and then almost a black. So those are kind of, you know, just the opposites off of each other. For the doors themselves, pretty much all the doors have the same wood inside the door itself. The stone changes, but the wood's the same. There are a couple styles that have a darker version of the wood, but you can't actually change the wood tone. So the wood tone that comes with it is just what you have. You're mostly looking at the stone variation. All right, and for our windows, we didn't receive a lot of different windows. We received pieces that can be used to build different styles and sizes of windows. So these are actually in the tall, this is medium, I think these were mediums, and then we have some small. So here I have 2 mediums and a tall stacked. I just kind of have this one up here so you can see. This, I think, was a medium stacked on top of a short. There's little arrow windows that are in the small windows. And then this is one single window. And then for these, we got a lot of different styles on them. They work well, they match all the different wall and floor swatches that you may want to use. And there are 2 styles that have stained glass in them. So I was really happy to see that we received some stained glass. I was kind of hoping we would get a little bit more option. I mean, maybe not a lot more, but we got 2. I'm happy with 2. I would have liked to have at least seen maybe a third one, something that, maybe pinks or purples, kind of in that color range, because we got blues and yellows. But we do have stained glass options to go with these as well. The only thing is, if you are going to do the stained glass, you probably wouldn't be able to do it very well matching on like the black stone. So these kind of, you've got the tan and then the gray is the only ones that come with that. So that does kind of limit it just a little bit on using those just based on your color scheme. And then what I would recommend is, if you are not familiar with using stackable windows, just a tip, if you do stack windows, and you notice I have 2 different walls here, a first floor and a second floor to kind of build the height. I also have these set where the seam is right on the wall seam. It won't let you put windows over the seam by standard, but if you do the move objects cheat, you can move them up and down across that seam however you want. If you do that though, you will notice that one section of the wall, either the top or bottom, is going to clip into your window, so your window will not be completely transparent. So you're going to want to make sure that however you stack your windows, you make sure that your seam matches the wall seam. Otherwise, you're going to have a little bit of that wall clipping going on. If you know of any fixes for that or any other tips, please let me know, but that's just what I found with it. And if you're not familiar with doing stacking windows, because we don't have a lot of those available that we would really build with, that's something to keep in mind. For our doors, I did have the medium doors over on the wall examples, and then I showed you the small version of that. This is another medium, and then these are larges. You have a really pretty archway here, kind of a gate, and then what would be a really nice like grand entrance. I do like how it has like this little crest of the llama there on top. And then you have these really nice spandrels with columns. Again, all of these come in the different swatches, so you can mix and match everything how you would want. And then we also have this trim. And it does not want to, there we go. And then this frieze up here. So again, those come in the different swatches as well. And then these are the only 2 items that are not in the build mode. These are in the objects. So everything else you'll find in build mode, but these 2 you're going to find in the objects. And I just put one version of the dirty and one of the clean, because these do have those options in all the swatches as well. We have a gargoyle, which is a little llama with a shield on the front of him. And then we have these crests. The only thing that is different about these is, if you do the gargoyles, they're the same, just the different color variation. But for the crests, if you do the clean version, you actually get this helm. But if you do the dirty version, you get a crest. And the items on the crest, I think, are kind of funny. It looks like we have a flamingo. We've got that little rabbit toy, the gnome, and then I honestly can't tell if that is a sandwich or a piece of cake. I mean, either way, it's kind of funny to have it on there. But these, I guess, are your crest items for whatever your seal may be. So if you do the dirty version in any swatch, that's what you get, and it will be the helm on the clean versions. And then the other items we received were stairs, and again, these come in all the different swatches except for the one with the plant growth on it, but this would be the one that would match that the best. And we received the stairs with the matching railings. And again, in all swatches. So I'm very happy with the variations it gave us. I know there's a lot of options to build with these, and I've already seen people posting a lot of videos and pictures and things uploaded to the gallery that they're using these for, and some of them are just spectacular. And I'm hoping anybody else has some nice new builds they'd like to share with these. If you do, I'd love to see those as well. You can put your ID in the comments or shoot me a message. I'd love to just see what you're coming up with these. So that's all I have today for this. We'll take a look at the Goth Galore pack on another night, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye.